morning and welcome back to Reality VFR FI. Today it is glorious sunshine. It's a bit cool. What we're going to be doing with the VFR is doing an oil change, and we're going to put new filters on it, air filter and oil filter. So first off, it's off with the fairings. Anyway, don't forget, Reality VFR, subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications. We'd like to see you at the channel. Hi, so the type of filter it takes is an HF303RC. Just going to check that against the existing filter and see what we're getting. That's the air filter, and what we're going to be putting in the oil is we're going to put in this liquid moly 10W40. I've put a variation of oils in over the years, from Mortal to this liquid moly. That's the Mortal, oh yes, and I've had some Silkaline. So we've tried different ones and they've all been good. I don't think I've ever had any bad oil. Bikes run and it's fantastic. So this is just 10W40. It's a German manufactured make, meant to be really good on abrasion tests. So hey, let's give it a go. There's the bike down there. So let's bring the bike up, get it prepped, warm her up, put it on centre stand and drain the oil. So this is last fairing bolt coming out. So that's the fairing off both sides of the VFR. Normally I clean all these inside every year and I spray them up. The plastics on this bike are A1, they're really good. I've had to have a panel sprayed, but that was just because someone they put pinstripes down the edge and I didn't like it. Right, so that's the panels off and we'll take it from there. So it's always good to have a container for all your fairing bolts and your Honda clips. So what I found is these are the Honda clips, which are a push-in design, and they're pretty awkward to get in. They're easy to get out. You press the circular bit in the middle and they come out, but to get them located on in all the holes with the fairings lined up, that's tricky. But once you've done it a few times, it does get easier. So persevere, but put them all in a safe place. So now what I've got, I'm left with a problem of just taking off kind of, don't know what you call it. So it's this piece here. So it's free swinging at the moment because everything's been taken out, all the bolts. So I just have to unclip it on the sides here. And then this will come out. As you can see where my hand is, that catches all crud, stops some going in your engine. I wish these were meshed where my fingers are, each side, and my thumb. I wish those were meshed. That would make it look well smart. Anyway, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts and 4 clips on this. And then on the back it's got a little bit of few heat shields here, just to stop melting the plastic from the exhausts. So all that'll get cleaned off, and I'll give you a quick view of the front of the VFR under there. So I've checked out the high flow filter on against the existing one that's on the bike, and they're different numbers. It's just a different depth. It's a 303 and that's a 202. So I think the 303 will give me better filtration because there's more filter there. So I'll just have to watch on filling up with oil, that it'll probably take a little bit more at filter. Okay everyone, so what I've basically done is I've just dropped the oil, just changed the sump plug So I don't know if you can see down there, there's a sump plug. Put a magnetic one in, so there's a new sump plug in there. So basically you just undo that bolt and let all the oil drop into your oil pan below. And when that's dropped, you take your filter off, which is here. So the high flow filter is on there, that you can see down there, front of my finger. And I just basically put a bit of oil on the seal on the filter, and then I hand tighten it, and then I don't torque that. I basically fill it up with oil, and then I just check for any leaks. I tighten the sump plug and I torque that 30 newton meters. I think the high flow filter is something like 10 newton meters. It's not a lot. It's just got, it's just got to get that rubber to seal, and then you're fine. So on with the oil. So basically what we've got now is I've put just under 3 litres in. The VFR takes 3.1 litres of oil. I partially filled the oil filter when I put it back on, so there's already some oil in there. And at the moment, if you can just see that level line, it's just above the lower limit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit more in to raise that level. I'm going to start the bike and then I'm going to check it for leaks. Okay, so continue just to fill it up. So I basically simply, easily just whack that on, get your oil. This is what I'm putting in, 10W40. That gives you to -10, so I'm just going to give it a little touch more, but that's about it now. I don't want to overfill it at this point, because if you overfill it you can't take the bloody stuff out. And then once you've run the engine, let it all settle down for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and then check the oil level again. I think that's not going to be far off, probably a bit under, but that'll be fine. Let's have a look down here now. Yeah, we're about halfway. Can you see that? You see it line? So we're where we should be with this oil now. So there we go, that's the oil change, fairly straightforward. And the hardest bit's getting it fair enough. Let's give it a start. See how she goes, see what she sounds like. Are we ready? So the oil light flashed on. I'll just give it a minute. And then what we do is we just check that oil when it's settled in another 10 minutes. Oil and filter, and then it's on with the air filter, which is easy. Okay, we do a final top up with the oil, and we just check. Maybe it is on gauge, you see that? Still a little bit more to go, so I'll whack a little bit more in, and that's it done. Let that drain down now. So the oil change is really straightforward. It's hardest bit's getting the fair enough and making sure you don't get oil all over your floor. You don't want that. Get a good container. So now we're going to do the air filter. Lift the tank up, do the air filter, and then once the air filter's done, we're looking at the coolant another day and the spark plugs. Don't forget, subscribe, ding the bell. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're fitting the air filter on the top of the air filter box. So you lift the tank up, you get something to hold your tank up. you disconnect the breather hose there, and then what you've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. These are really hard to get up at the top because it's a long reach screwdriver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's some wires with some wire clips onto those back ones, so it's fairly straightforward. We basically take the screws out. Be careful, you'll strip the screws. If you strip the screws, they're not coming out, and then you've got a problem. You take the airbox cover away. I'll just put that down over here where I want to show you these other 2 screws. They've got these other 2 screws at the front, which I said are hard to get to. They've got these covers on to stop them falling out, so that's going to be a bit tricky to get those 2 back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fairly straightforward is that. So that's the new high flow filter that's going in, and I'm interested. This has been in for 2 seasons, so I am interested how this one has done. So basically that just comes out. Anyway, let's take it out. Let's see it against the new one. So that's the old one versus the new one. So there's bits of bugs in there, flies, bits of shit. That's what it's designed to do. And on the back we can see slightly different. That one, that's got lots of outside points. That's got a couple of fixings on inside there and there. Right folks, we're just going to whack this in and get these screws back in, and we'll see how this goes together. So basically the new one just goes offer it in, and it clips into the groove. There's a groove all the way around here. You clip it into the groove all the way around. You make sure it's seated, and then from there we can put the lid back on.